Hi guys, today we are going to see about decomposition reaction. What does mean by decomposition reaction? A reactant have to decompose. Reactant have to decompose, then it will give some simpler products. And that reaction is known as decomposition reaction. Again, I will explain. Any reactant we are taking here, and that reactant have to decompose. That reactant have to decompose into some similar products, one or more products, some simpler products, and that is known as decomposition reaction. Now I will say some examples for that. I am taking ferrous sulfate in a test tube. Inside the test tube, I am taking some ferrous sulfate crystals which is in green color. Then I am heating this test tube by using flame. I am heating. Then the green color of the ferrous sulfate will change. The color will be changed. Why? Because the ferrous sulfate loses some water. Ferrous sulfate loses some water molecules. Then the color should be changed. I will write the chemical equation for this. I am taking ferrous sulfate. Okay. FeSO4. Ferrous sulfate crystals in a test tube. Then I am boiling that test tube. The color will be changed. Why the color will be changed? Because that ferrous sulfate loses some water and it will be changed. It gives some ferric oxide and sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Ferrous sulfate is solid. I am heating this. And this ferrous sulfate is decomposed into some simpler products. What are the products? Ferric oxide. What is the formula for ferric oxide? Fe2O3 plus sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. These two are gas. Sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide are gas. Ferric oxide is solid. So this is an example for decomposition reaction. Here we are using heat to decompose the reactant. So this is known as thermal decomposition. Thermal decomposition means the heat will be included in the reaction. So that is known as thermal decomposition reaction. I will say another example also. Example 2 is calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is a solid. I am taking this and I am heating that one. It will decompose into calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. So calcium oxide is solid. It is also known as lime, and carbon dioxide is gas. So I am writing here gaseous formula. This is also another example of decomposition reaction. Here one reactant is decomposed into some simpler products. Calcium carbonate is decomposed into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So this is another example of decomposition reaction. Like that, example 3. I am taking lead nitrate in the test tube. In the inside of the test tube, I am taking 2 grams of lead nitrate. And I am boiling this test tube. After few minutes, I am seeing some brown color fumes outcomes from the test tube. Brown color fumes. Why? Because this lead nitrate is decomposed into lead oxide and nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. So this brown color fumes, why? Because the brown color fumes came. That is because nitrogen dioxide is outcoming. I will write this in an equation manner. Lead nitrate formula is PbNO3 2. And this is solid. I am heating this. Heat involved in the reaction means that decomposition reaction is known as what? Thermal decomposition. and this lead nitrate is decomposed into lead oxide, which is solid, plus that brown color fumes came now. Why? Because nitrogen dioxide is outcome. So nitrogen dioxide, which is gas, plus oxygen molecule also outcome. So this is another example for thermal decomposition reaction. Here's some another example. I am taking some silver chloride in the plate. Then I kept that plate in presence of sunlight. When the sunlight passes through the plate, the silver chloride gets color changed. The silver chloride is changed into grey color. So this is another example. How this will turn into grey color? Because the silver chloride decomposed into silver and chlorine, so the color was changed. The chemical equation is silver chloride AgCl, which is solid. In presence of sunlight, it decomposed into silver, which is solid, and chlorine, which is gas. Like that, similarly, silver bromide also. When I kept this in presence of sunlight, the silver bromide also decomposed into silver and bromine. And finally, electrolysis of water is also an example for decomposition reaction. Here I am taking one mug. Then I am putting 2 holes inside in the mug. Then I am setting some rubber stoppers here. This red color is rubber stoppers. Then I took some carbon rod inside the stoppers. Then I filled some more water in the mug. Then I took 2 test tubes which was covered by this carbon rods. I am pouring some water. Then this electrode was connected into 6-volt battery. Then after current passes, leave some minutes, then see the test tube. Here some bubbles will come. Why the bubbles will come? Because the water molecule H2O, which is present in the mug, was hydrolyzed, and in one test tube more amount of bubbles, more amount of gases will produce, which is double of the another one. Okay, why? Because means this H2O will hydrolyzed into H2 and O. 2 molecules of hydrogen and 1 molecule of oxygen was produced. So only the bubbles came. How we are confirming hydrogen and oxygen gases becoming means after the gases passes, I will remove the test tube and I just kept the test tube mouth in presence of the flame. Then I will confirm some of the gases was present, which is hydrogen and oxygen. See, I will explain again. In this mug I am taking some water. Before that I put 2 holes. Then I kept rubber stoppers. Then carbon rod was inserted in the rubber stoppers. Then it was covered by test tube. Then I am pouring some more water. This electrode, this anode was connected into 6-volt battery. Here after few minutes some bubbles was came. See here some more bubbles was present. Why? Because the water molecule H2O was hydrolyzed into hydrogen and oxygen. Why? Because more amount of gas in one test tube, which is double of the another, means 2 molecule of hydrogen and 1 molecule of oxygen was produced. So this is another example. Here H2O, this reactant was decomposed into H2 and O. This is another example. Electrolysis of water is also another example of decomposition reaction. Thank you guys.